Hello everyone! Today I'm here to share with you all of the romance books I'm excited to read that are coming out in 2021. I recently did a video about all the books I'm excited for that are being released in 2021. I really want to do a romance-centered one because I'm reading more of them and there's a lot more that I'm interested in that I never put on my 2021 list because they just get so lengthy. So I thought, I'll make my own list. Some of these you may have heard me talk about in that other video, but majority of them will hopefully be new that I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm still new into the romance world. I don't read a ton of historical romance. I'm trying to remedy that. And I just, I do like a lot of kind of chick-litty books that are, you know, tiptoeing on romance, but I just classify them all within, like, if they're adult and they have a romance theme into them, I just kind of consider them romance. I don't know if that's cheating or not. I'm sorry if it is, but either way, these are all the romance books that I am excited to read. There's so many other amazing romance booktubers out there, so be sure to get more information and probably, you know, a lot more books than what I'm telling you today. So check them out. So starting in January, we have Love Song for Skeptics by Christine. I'm so sorry, I can't pronounce this correctly. So this says featuring, which I really love. It says featuring the boy next door who you've loved since you were 13, and it says swoon. I love that. An annoyingly charming music publicist, annoyed swoon. A career-saving interview with your rock idol. A real-life My Big Fat Greek Wedding. So this is 20 years later. Simon is returning to London, newly single and charming as ever, and Zoe vows to take her second chance with him. So it sounds adorable. It sounds like it's got music involved. Also, like a My Big Fat Greek Wedding twist. It sounds amazing. Then on January 19th, we have Shipped by Angie Hockman. This is about a workaholic marketing manager who is forced to go on a cruise with her arch nemesis when they're up for the same promotion. So that's basically all I know about it. They go to the Galapagos Islands together. Goodness, I always have a hard time saying that. Galapagos.
It's time for Ted to Galapago now.
Oh. And it's supposed to be a mix of The Unhoneymooners and The Hating Game, a classic enemies to lovers romance. Sold, sold, and sold. Then we have The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon coming out January 26th. This is about two characters that are public radio co-hosts, and they have this new segment called The X Talk where they have like two exes will deliver relationship advice live on air, and it becomes really, really popular, and their boss basically teams up Shay and Dominic to be the host of the show because they just banter and bicker all the time. You can guess. Enemies to lovers, hate to love, my favorite trope of all time. Moving into February, we have Makeup Breakup by Lily Menon. This is about two characters that have created this app. They each have very similar apps. One's called Makeup and one's called Breakup. You can guess what happens. And basically they have a competition or something, and another kind of hate to love. That's a big thing for me. I love any sort of book that has a tagline of hate to love. Also on February 2nd, we have Meet You in the Middle by Devin Daniels. This is what happens when the person you find most impossible becomes impossible to resist. This is about a Senate staffer, Kate, and her hatred of Ben, who's a fellow politician worker. Of course, it's hate to love. I believe this book was supposed to come out this year, and it got pushed back to next year. It's like a political book, which I don't love, but it sounds really cute. Then we have Untitled by Alexis Dario coming out February 15th. So we don't know the title, the synopsis, a cover. We don't know anything about it, so I don't know if it'll come out. I really hope it does. She wrote You Had Me at Hola, and I love that book. It's like a telenovela book, and it was so good. So I really hope this one will come out. Hopefully we'll get more information, honestly. Then on February 16th, we have Like You Love Me by Adrienne Locke. So this is about a girl named Sophie who has to save her Tennessee bed and breakfast, and she has her best friend Holden. So he needs to prove to a prospective employee that he is a committed man. So he decides to, hey, I'll save you if you like marry me for like show. And she says, why not? They're comfortable together. They'll have fun and they'll trust each other. I'm sure they'll also fall in love. Friends to lovers, any sort of romance. Like, let's be honest, I'm there for it. And then lastly in February, we have First Comes Like by Alicia Rai. This is her third book in the series. We follow a character named Gia, who's been in the first two books. And I'm really excited to read about her love story because I've always been interested in her, and she's super smart, super tactful. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen to her in this book. Moving into March, we have The Wedding Game by Megan Quinn, which comes out March 1st. So this is about a character named Luna who, she's like a really good crafter, like actual crafting, not crafting situations, but So it's only natural that she would convince her brother and his husband-to-be to compete on the wedding game. And basically, then as a jaded divorce lawyer, Alex scoffs at weddings, but when his recently engaged brother begs him to participate, then he picks up a glue gun. And so basically, both fierce competitors, Luna and Alec, clash on national TV, and I think things happen from there. It sounds adorable. Also with a lot of like crafting and glitter glue and stuff. I'm not good at that, but I'll read it any day. Then we have Accidentally Engaged by Farah Henan coming out on March 2nd. So this is about a character named Rena who she doesn't love her career, doesn't love her single status, doesn't love a lot in her life. And so other guy moves in across the hall from her. And so she agrees to do fake an engagement so they can enter a couples videos cooking contest to win the artisan bread course of her dreams. So I think it's another like type of book where they fake, you know, a relationship, and of course more feelings develop and things like that. Next up is Yes and I Love You by Ronnie Lauren. This one is about Ms. Poppy, the vibrant reviewer whose commentary brightens the New Orleans nightlife, and no one knows Holland, the real face behind the media star. So, or the fear that keeps her isolated. So when her boss tells her that she needs to add a video to her blog or she'll lose her job, she's forced to rely on something that she doesn't expect. So she hires like Jasper, who has to help Holland come out of her shell and through her growing connection and finally find her voice. So sounds like it's gonna be cute. It's a very interesting plot and I'm excited for it. Then also on March 2nd, March 2nd's a big romance release day, we have Float Plan by Tris Dollar. This is about a girl named Anna who has lost her fiance, and she decides that she's going to go on this trip that they were actually supposed to take. And so she decides to go to sea in their sailboat, intending to complete the voyage alone. Of course, that doesn't work out. So she hires Keen, a professional sailor, to help, and ... with all of these romance books, you can guess what happens next. Then on March 9th, we have Act Your Age, Evie Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is the third book where we follow the sister Evie and her romantic love life, and I'm very excited to read it. I love all of her books. And then also in March, I don't know if we have an actual date for it, we have The Hustler Next Door by K.A Tucker. I think this is like the sequel or like companion novel to The Player Next Door, which she released in 2020. So I'm excited to read it. I really like K.A Tucker's romance books, and I'll read all of them, honestly. Moving into April, we have Twice Shy by Sarah Hoggle, coming out on April 6th. So this is about a charming and unconventional romantic comedy about a woman who inherits a sprawling estate with a groundskeeper whose stoic exterior masks and a surprising vulnerability. I read her debut book, You Deserve Each Other, and really enjoyed it. Despite not a lot of people liking it, I loved it. I don't know what that says about me. And then we have Life's Too Short by Abby Hamezen coming out April 6th. This is about a character named Vanessa who lives life large, travels, and does everything. And then her sister kind of just leaves her infant daughter in her care. And so she's housebound, and there's a hot lawyer next door that feelings happen. Sounds adorable. I'm here for it. I really love her books. And on April 22nd, we have The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. This is about two sisters that go on this road trip to Scotland to go to this wedding, and their car gets messed up, and so they have to drive with like one of the characters, Addie's ex-boyfriend that they haven't dated in 2 years. So interesting. I don't know if this is going to be a romance or not. It sounds romantic, so that's why I put it on here, because her first book, The Flat Share, was very romantic. Her second book wasn't really romantic, so hopefully I'm not wrong in this. We have Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. All I know about this, it's about a muscular tattooed man hired as an assistant to two old women under the watchful eye of a beautiful retirement home manager. I'm excited yet apprehensive about this because I really love The Hating Game, but I did not like 99% Mine, so we'll see. Then I have Anchored Hearts by Priscilla Oliveres coming on April 27th. This is the second in her Keys to Love series. I read her first one. What is it called? Island Affair. It's like all takes place in the Miami Keys, and they're just romantic, summery fun. And this one's about Alejandro, who I think falls in love with Anna Maria, I think. I don't know. It sounds adorable. I really hope to like it. Moving into May, we have The People You Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry coming out on May 11th. This is about Alex and Poppy, who are best friends despite being total opposites. They spend like the whole year pretty much apart, but then 1 week every summer they come together and take a vacation. Every single year they've done that for like a decade, and then 2 years ago, they stopped. They had like this big falling out, but this year they decided to take one last vacation together and reveal everything. And I'm guessing a friends to lovers story. I'm excited for it. I love beach reads, so I'm very eagerly anticipating this one. I have the Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren coming out on May 18th. I don't think we know anything about it, but I mean, I don't need to know much. I love Christina Lauren books, honestly. Moving into June, we have The Layover by Lacey Walden coming out on June 21st. This is about a character named Ava who is a flight attendant, and she is ready to done being a flight attendant. And so she's got one trip left, and she discovers that former pilot Jack is also on the flight, and he has the nerve to flirt with her. And so the plane encounters mechanical problems, and they are stuck in Belize, basically. And so she's stranded with this guy that she hates at a luxury resort. I mean, worse things have happened. Surprisingly, that's all I have for June. So July, I have It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey coming out June 13th, or coming out July 13th. This is Schitt's Creek inspired rom-com about a Hollywood it girl who has been like exiled to this really small North Pacific Northwest town, and she meets a surly, sexy local who thinks she doesn't belong. I like Tessa Bailey books. Of course, I'm gonna read it. And then in August, we have If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy coming out August 3rd. This is her first adult romance, I believe, and this is about a girl named Cindy who is working for her stepmother, who happens to be the executive producer of America's favorite reality show, Before Midnight. And so when a spot comes on the show that needs to be filled, Cindy volunteers, and I think she has to be involved in it, and she's plus size and romance, and it sounds really adorable. And then August 17th, we have The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. This is her third book in the series where we follow Quan. I've been eagerly waiting this book for like 3 years, I feel like, so I'm very excited for this one. And then lastly, in September, I have Portrait of a Scotsman by Evie Dunmore. This is Hattie and Mr. Blackstone's story. She writes historical romances, and they're like the only historical romance books I read. I know, I need to widen my horizons. I'm going to try to do that this year, trust you me, but I'm really excited for this book. So those are all the romance books that I know that are coming out. I'm sure I missed some, I always do, so please leave me in the comments what romance books you're eagerly anticipating that are coming out in 2021. I can't wait. I have really embraced romance this year, and I hope to only grow with that next year. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.